Informative speaking is a prepared platform event that must be 8 to 10 minutes long and have at least 8 sources. The purpose of an informative speech is to amuse and amaze your audience and teach them something they don't already know. Presenting the informative speech this evening is Malcolm Gamble, bronze medalist at the California Community College Forensics Association State Champion Tournament last month. Please join me in welcoming Malcolm Gamble.
Was hired to sell the replica of the Godspeed, the ship that landed at Jamestown, Virginia in 1607 in a reenactment of the original voyage. One day, while cleaning the ship's hull, a co-worker spun the wheel, trapping Christian's leg between a rudder and a support post, damaging most of the nerves below his left knee. The doctors told him he would never have feeling in his left foot again. And after a painful fall in 2003, he recruited 2 friends, engineers Richard Hasselhurst and Steve Willens, to help him find a better way to get around. Willens came up with the idea of using audible tones to signal Christian's brain when his feet touched the ground. And in 2006, the 3 built a prototype of an assisting walking device that helps individuals who have nerve damage in their legs and feet and those with prosthetics walk normally again. This device is known as Syntestep. The National Limb Loss Information Center reported on July 23, 2012, that there are 1.7 million people living with limb loss in the United States, and annually, 185,000 lose a limb, while 20 million live with nerve damage. And according to Business Insider Science on August 17, 2012, John Christian called Syntestep a lifesaver, which will benefit anyone who has lost sensation in their legs, including diabetes sufferers, Parkinson's disease patients, and even stroke victims. Therefore, to gain a better understanding of this latest innovation in sensory technology, let's take a step into the discovery and development of Syntestep. Second, examine how it works before leaping forward into some future implications of Syntestep. After nearly a year of trial and error, Christian and his team came up with Syntestep, a 2-part device which uses sounds to reattach your brain to know when to send a step signal to your leg after it has forgotten how to do so due to injured nerves. In fact, in a personal phone interview with Christian on March 4, 2013, he told me, "I can almost feel my foot. My brain thinks it can feel where my foot is." The Syntestep system is a self-contained footstep monitoring device, which informs the patient by way of an extraneural pathway when a threshold of pressure is attached. In other words, the brain signals the foot it has connected with a surface, all through a signaling device in the ear. Ideal Connections reported on June 19, 2012. What's unique about Syntestep is that it's the only extraneural pathway device presently available to patients. It consists of a flexible foam insole, which can be trimmed to fit the sole and can be reversed for left or right applications. It contains a small transmitter model, which can be strapped around the ankle, and a lightweight receiver model, which is worn behind the ear and looks like a hearing aid. There is also a separate receiver model with computer USB connections, which graphically displays the user's gait pattern using InStep software according to the Syntestep website on August 22, 2012. Most important, it is easily incorporated into existing prosthetics, particularly since AmputeeCoalition.org reported on September 7, 2012, that there are 507 amputees every day. Diabetic neuropathy is a type of nerve damage associated with diabetes, which can cause a loss of feeling in the feet and in turn leads to many complications such as a reduction in mobility. Syntestep provides a replacement for some of the missing signals in the feet with an audible tone, thereby enabling the user to regain the confidence necessary for balance and movement. With a better understanding of the development of Syntestep, let's examine how it functions. To use Syntestep, the patient wears a conductive foam insole embedded with 13 pressure sensors. As the heel or toe hits the ground, a transmitter strapped to the ankle sends a signal to the receiver that slips over the ear. Now, imagine your iPod strapped to your arm with the headphones in your ear. It's that simple. Syntestep does the same thing, but it's wireless. Popular Science reported on June 18, 2012, that the earpiece vibrates against the bone behind the ear, transmitting a signal to the cochlear nerve and stimulating it. Variations in the vibrations which the patient perceives as an audible tone are words to bring to which part of the foot has contact with the ground, something that is easily taken for granted in an able-bodied person. The insole measures the load placed on each of the two general areas corresponding to the heel and the ball of the foot. Furthermore, the New Zealand Herald on June 22, 2012 stated that when the load reaches a preset threshold, which is adjustable from 5 pounds to 50 pounds, the user will hear a tone corresponding to the area under the load. The tones used for the heel and toe have different frequencies, so that they're easily distinguishable. Christian and other patients won't need to look down and watch every step they take to avoid falls. The transmitter and receiver model are powered by a rechargeable battery, which provides a minimum of 24 hours of continuous use and an automatic shutoff after 30 minutes of inactivity. Each transmitter and receiver also has a unique code to prevent interference from other units in the area, like a radio or a cell phone. Patients' physical therapists are also able to monitor the patients using SensorStep. For example, a therapist computer will display the changing pressure on each of the two areas of the foot in real time, according to the previously cited SensorStep website. The information is instantly updated and displayed on a scrolling history graph, which can be reviewed and saved for patients' records in order to document progress and assign the appropriate therapy and exercise, or to make adjustments to prosthesis. For example, when the load reaches a preset threshold, which is adjustable from 5 pounds to 50 pounds, the user will hear a tone, which correlates when the load reaches a preset threshold, and instantly information goes up. And that which leads to a previous cited SensorStep website. When the load reaches a preset threshold, it gets connected to the foot, which goes up to the ear, and keeps going on and performing. The information is instantly updated. So as we go to our third point, when the advent of SensorStep and how it functions opens a door for us, leads into a world of future implications. SensorStep is not limited to just people who have nerve damage. This device is so revolutionary that it provides a replacement for some of the missing signals in the beat and with the audible tone, thereby enabling the user to regain the confidence necessary for balance and movement. SensorStep can even help those patients with rare genetic disorders called CIPA, which is a disease where patients are unable to feel pain and incapable of sensing extreme temperatures. The inability to gauge one's footstep has impacted even the military, to the extent that U.S. military casualty statistics on June 12, 2012 reported that the total number of amputees in all branches of military are 1,599. So SensorStep has approached the military at Texas A&M Health Science Center Office of Homeland Security to fit amputees with this device. Most importantly, SensorStep provides a possible alternative to amputation for patients with tibial nerve damage and resulting in insensate lower limbs, and can be applied to instep and exercise therapy for diabetic neuropathy, certain balance disorders, and orthopedic postoperative uses. The greatest concern regarding SensorStep, however, is its cost, which with every new technology is exorbitant at $200,000 to develop. The future for amputees and those with diseases that cause a loss of feeling in their limbs is brighter because of SensorStep. In the past few minutes, we have taken a step into the invention and development of SensorStep, examining how it works before exploring some future implications of this latest innovation in sensory technology. SensorStep represents a symbol of hope for those who are less fortunate than others. It's an alternative way to fight against life's harsh adversities. SensorStep is an assisting device which can play an important part in the daily life of prosthesis patients and those with nerve damage by providing instant feedback from the feet to both their wearers and their therapists. There's a great saying: we don't realize what we hold dearly precious for ourselves until we have lost it. In the future, SensorStep will make it possible to assist people just like John and Christian recover what they have lost.
Duo interpretation is interpretation of literature, but with two people. It is an 8 to 10 minute program on a plane, movie, stand-up routine, and even YouTube videos. Presenting duo interpretation this evening are Antoinette Shirley and Marnie Salvani. Antoinette and Marnie will be representing Solano Community College at a National Championship Forensics Association next week in Woodland Hills, California. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Antoinette Shirley and Marnie Salvani.
You know, I was thinking they look fabulous in a yellow.
Oh, so they'll all wear yellow.
No. Not for their outfits. Their skin.
Their skin?
Yeah, yellow skin.
I thought it'd be fun to have lots of colors.
Oh, that's a better idea. You know, I really love that tan caramelish color.
Yeah, and red.
Ooh, red's good.
When I love those olive tones.
Olive and black and a rich dark brown.
White.
White. White? Don't you think that's a little bland?
I thought it'd be kind of nice, you know? White has
I just be afraid that the white people might feel a little inferior. I mean, red, tan, yellow.
well, who knows how they'll react?
Yeah, that's true.
Better to make a note to keep an eye on them.
All right. Watch the whites. John Lennon once said, "I believe in God, but not as one thing, not as an old man in the sky.
I believe that what we call God is something in all of us.
I believe that what Jesus
And Muhammad.
and Buddha and all the rest said was right. It's just the translations have gone wrong. Throughout history, human beings have sought ways to explain our existence and purpose.
As children and later adults, we find it difficult to apply these translations to our lives.
We'll explore the different facets of this search in Parallel Lives by Kathy Najimy.
In Mogan. Roles and rules.
Oh, you know, I anticipated some problems with roles and rules.
You did?
Yeah, so if you don't mind, I went ahead and talked with the,
Big guy?
No. The guy who decides how it's supposed to be.
Oh, Cliff.
Cliff. And I says, look, Cliff, they don't necessarily have to do things the way they're supposed to be. I mean, let's give them a choice. Why rules?
He wouldn't listen. You told him our plan.
I did. I said anybody can do anything they want to do as long as they're willing to get up and do it. Exactly.
What'd he say?
He said, shame on you. He got up and he went hunting.
I hate that guy.
Oh, I know, me too. Just let it go. Bless and release.
Appropriate. Where are we on that?
Oh, it's much better. You're going to be pleased. We both the male and the female, and we've given them the ability to procreate.
Yeah?
And you came up with that great sex idea, which I love, by the way.
Thank you.
I don't know how they're going to do it.
They'll figure it out.
Now we're going to decide which one's going to actually have the baby.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So it could be either one.
Yeah. How about the female?
Okay, great. So now we've got the female.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, what?
Well, she gets to have a baby. What does the guy get?
Zip above his squat.
He'll be hurt and jealous.
All right, well, let's just balance this out a little bit.
Why don't we make the power of birth have some drawbacks? Dull the shine a little.
That's a good idea.
We can make it messy for one.
Messy. Messy's good.
Good start.
I like messy. Maybe uncomfortable.
Oh, uncomfortable. Painful.
Ooh, I like that. That's good. I like painful. But how pain? Is she going to give herself pain? Figure out a way to implement the pain.
Oh, here we go. We could have the baby grow inside the female stomach for about an earth year. Then we could have it come out a small portal in her body.
Oh, you're bad. That's where the pain comes in.
Make it twins!
Oh. Let's not say a whole earth year. I mean, how about 6 months?
10 months.
8.
9.
So, good. So this can make the man feel equal? I mean, I don't want a lot of griping lawsuits and letters.
Tell you what we'll do. We'll give him as much ego as possible and just hope for the best. Mom, Tina has to go to the bathroom and I'll take her.
I can't hold it.
We will.
You forgot to bounce across yourself.
I did it in my mind.
I can't stand it in there. I have a migraine.
Someone's coming! I know
What? All the sisters are already gone.
No, some of them were bridesmaids.
They had a big cake.
A huge cake.
Yeah, and one of the nuts popped out of the cake. The priest with the holy water? They make Kool-Aid out of it. Really do. They drink it and all their hair falls out. It's in the Bible.
That's a lie. You can't do anything with holy water except put it on your forehead. If you do anything else, you'll die in a fiery car wreck.
And then you're a dead guy, and then they fly over to crematory, and they look at the list of all your hits and all your bats, and you have more than 87.50 billion bats. They get really mad, and then steam comes out, and their eyes go boing, boing, and then they pull a cord, and whoosh, you fall through hell, and you're in hell now, and it's fully hot here. That is so wrong. No, it's in the Bible.
No, Tina, there's a boat that takes you.
A boat.
Yeah, there's this boat, and there are these two rivers. One is the river to heaven, and one is the river to hell. Da-da-da-da. And on this boat, there's this guy in the boat, and he's really mean and ugly, and he's got a really big head, it's like this big.
What's his name?
Neil. He's got an eye and a big old head.
Like you do, like you do?
You better come out, because he can hear what you're saying. And then he takes your clothes, and he puts them in a pile, and he burns them with his eye, and he says, I am burning them now. The smoke goes up, and it says heaven or hell, and you go to heaven or hell. And
That's it? That's hell?
yeah, where you burn, but you never die burning. Forever and ever.
But what if you're really sorry and you have to go back home now?
Too bad.
Too bad. What if your brother did it?
You should have thought that's before you got on the boat. No, wait, guess what?
What?
I'm going to be a saint, that's what.
I'm gonna be a priest. That's what.
You can't be a priest.
Yes, I can. I'll sue.
Who are you going to sue? Jesus? You can't be a priest. You can be a sister.
I don't want to be a sister.
You have to be a sister.
Have to, not. I hate the sisters.
Uh-oh. You're going to hell now for sure.
I should really go back in now.
You better start sorry first.
Okay. In the name of the Father, I am so sorry I was mean to your wives. Our Father, who art in heaven,
Herald in your name.
your kingdom come,
And we are done on earth.
and we are in heaven,
Give us our bread.
and our sourdough bread. Give us our trespasses, and we'll give you our trespassers.
Pastor.
And Kim Kardashian is a trespasser. Amen.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
It has been about 14 years since my last confession. That'll put me at about
10th grade. Okay, the 10th grade, we'll start there. I know I did something. I probably cheated in math, I knew we never use it.
I smoked dope. I let Malcolm berries touch my boobs. I started swimmer.
Just hot stuff for raw.
Speed. I masturbated.
I used to fake ID.
By Smirnoff vodka.
Lies.
I lied a lot.
Okay, that puts me at 21.
No, it was a bad year, 21.
I didn't run an ice cream truck.
I had a three-way. I lied.
About my student loan.
I lied.
About my disability insurance.
I lied.
About the weight on my driver's license.
I lied.
A lot.
Wow.
That was last year. That brings us up to
Now, well, I might as well go for the gold. I had sex.
with a married man,
I had sex.
with a woman,
I had sex.
with a married woman. I never destroyed my relatives ever.
I cheat on my taxes,
I think bad thoughts about people.
especially my speech professors.
I
I lied a lot. Got it, Father?
Oh goodness. Oh, I feel so much better, Father. I feel really cleansed.
What is my penance?
2 Hail Marys and 2 Our Fathers for 14 years of sins.
You turn your back a couple millennia, and look what happens.
Oh, it's not so bad. Except for maybe that reality television thing.
Whose idea was that anyway?
What do you think?
Flip. So what's the update on the lights?
Don't ask.
Well, that Mantico thing certainly took off.
Oh yeah, like a bat out of hell.
They took to it like flies to How are the females doing with that portal business?
Oh. They're pissed.
causes and effects, and propose solutions to the problem. Presenting with persuasive speech this evening is Anthony Allen. Anthony, who will be representing Solano Community College at our National Championship Forensics Tournament next week in Woodland Hills, California. Please give a warm welcome to Anthony Allen.
On August 2nd, 2012, a megabus carrying 70 passengers crashed into an overpass on Interstate 55 in southern Illinois, killing one passenger and injuring dozens. According to the police at the scene, the accident may have begun with a blown tire, which caused the driver to lose control of the vehicle. And according to the Chicago Tribune, on August 17, 2012, the ongoing investigation showed safety concerns, with double-decker buses loading tires beyond the suggested weight limit. Safety hazards such as this are responsible for a large percentage of bus accidents that take place. The Department of Transportation's website reports on September 5th, 2012, that this problem needs to be resolved to protect the 750 million passengers, 65% of whom are students and seniors, which include many of us who travel by bus each year, and especially since NPR reported on March 18, 2013, that bus ridership has increased by 30% since last year alone. Unfortunately, this issue doesn't get much media attention unless it causes a major traffic jam, as was the case in Stockton, California on November 4, 2012, where a bus accident caused Interstate 5 to shut down for over 4 hours. According to Popular Mechanics, on August 3, 2012, there's more travel by bus than those who take Amtrak and domestic flights combined due to the declining state of the economy. Moreover, automobile drivers who share the road with buses are also impacted by bus travel. If these bus safety regulations are not more strictly enforced, then there will be an increase in accidents and fatalities. Therefore, in the next few minutes, I will discuss the effects of bus accidents before uncovering the causes and finally exploring solutions on both the institutional and individual levels. The safety administrations have gained a bad reputation for not keeping a closer eye on bus companies. For example, a May 31st, 2011 bus crash in Dogville, Virginia, involving the Sky Express bus, resulted in 4 fatalities, while 49 other people were injured. The National Transportation Safety Board, or the NTSB, reported that the probable causes of this accident were a severely fatigued driver who lost control of the vehicle, the failure of Sky Express Incorporated to enforce safe driving practices, and the lack of safety enforcement. TheTrucker.com reports on August 3, 2012, that the NTSB criticized the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, or the FMCSA, for not taking all unsafe buses off of the roadway after it was discovered they had given Sky Express a 10-day extension on a proposed out-of-service order to allow the company time for an appeal. Millions of dollars are spent cleaning up the scenes of bus accidents each year. For instance, on March 12, 2011, a 1999 Prevost bus operated by Worldwide Travel crashed into a guardrail on Interstate 95 near the Bronx in New York. According to SafeRoads.org, last accessed on August 30th, 2012, this accident killed 15 people while injuring 20 others. The cost of fatalities of this single accident exceeded over $90 million. On August 29, 2012, a casino bus bound for Chinatown lost control outside of Queens in New York. The accident resulted in 24 people being sent to the hospital, including the driver, who was ejected from the vehicle. The negative effects of bus accidents merit an examination of the causes of this problem. There are 3 primary causes of bus accidents: driver performance, poor vehicle maintenance, and the lack of safety enforcement. For the first cause, the driver from the March 2011 crash mentioned earlier was suffering from both acute sleep loss and cumulative sleep deprivation at the time of the accident. Because of the driver's activities in the days leading up to this accident, his sleep opportunities didn't even exceed 4 hours. For the second cause, buses are operating on out-of-date equipment, as well as not undergoing the required mechanical maintenance. Popular Mechanics reports on April 12, 2012, that the most common mechanical problems that are found in buses are in the brakes, the lights, and the engines. Most, if not all, buses are not equipped with seatbelts and are not up to par with stronger vehicle construction standards. And thus, 70% of those who are killed in bus accidents were ejected from the vehicle. For the third cause, safety administrations have been lenient towards enforcing all bus safety rules and regulations. For example, the FMCSA was faulted for its handling of a new program that allowed Sky Express to wait a whole 22 months after it began operation before undergoing a safety fitness audit. According to Times Dispatch News website, on August 1st, 2012, the regulators also allowed Sky Express to continue operations despite incurring 204 safety violations and 94 separate roadside inspections in the year prior to the crash. Another safety concern that we must be aware of is the use of green-carnated bus companies who are shut down by safety regulators. When these bus companies are shut down, they change their names, repaint their buses, and continue operations as if nothing has ever happened. These bus companies cut the corners on safety, and the consequences are disastrous. Because of the detrimental effects and causes of bus accidents, let's consider some solutions on both the institutional and individual levels. On an institutional level, the FMCSA has cracked down on unsafe buses through surprise inspections, full compliance reviews, and enforcement actions. Furthermore, the U.S. Department of Transportation, or the DOT, has announced on July 19, 2011, that in the last 2 years, the Obama administration has issued more safety hazard orders, placing unsafe bus and truck companies out of service than in the previous 10 years combined. The FMCSA has conducted over 3,000 surprise safety inspections in over a 2-week period, which resulted in over 442 unsafe buses to be removed from the nation's roadways. To that end, the Oregonian newspaper on February 1st, 2013, has reported that a new fatigue agreement has been implemented in the state of Oregon that requires all bus drivers to have at least 10 hours off in between shifts and cannot work more than 14-hour shifts. More funds are needed to improve the technology and safety requirements of bus companies. For instance, the Huffington Post on December 27, 2012, reports that event data recorders, or black boxes, are installed in newer vehicles to track the vehicles and drivers' activities prior to an accident. If these black boxes are required in private vehicles, then they should most certainly be mandatory for buses, because buses are responsible for transporting dozens of passengers at any given time. To ensure that bus companies are punished for violating these safety regulations, the DOT has proposed to raise the penalty from $2,000 per violation to $25,000 per violation. On an individual level, passengers should be aware of any bus companies who seemingly appear overnight. The federal DOT website provides safety records for bus companies so that everyone can be informed of any potential safety hazards. There is also a new safety checklist called Think Safety, every trip, every time. This checklist allows consumers to review a bus company's safety record and safety rating before buying a ticket or hiring a bus for group travel. And with the growing popularity of party buses, it is incumbent upon us to check the safety of our buses by calling the DOT toll-free hotline at 1-888-368-7238. Cards with more information will be available at the end of speech night. Tonight, I discussed the effects of bus accidents before uncovering the causes and finally exploring solutions on both the institutional and individual levels. Millions of dollars are spent cleaning up the scenes of bus accidents, while passengers suffer from injury and/or death in each bus accident that takes place. If these bus accidents are not resolved, then the 750 million annual passengers who travel by bus will be at risk of being injured or killed. So in choosing a bus as your form of transportation, you must ask yourself which option you prefer. Paying for a cheap bus ticket or risk losing your life in a fatal bus accident.
Some quick things I want to mention to you guys before you leave. One, how did you guys like all the different events tonight? Did you guys have a good time? One thing you remember too, all of our competitors were in the same seat you guys are. So any one of you is capable to do what they did tonight. So just keep that in mind. Also want to go by just some quick classes you can join. If you liked hearing the debate tonight and think you can maybe do debate, remember that there's only one communication class we have to take right now. Let's start taking more classes if you enjoy this type of event. So, if you want to take debate, sign up for COM 6 in the fall, and you guys can start doing debates on your own just like that. And you guys can argue what you think about college athletes and that good stuff. Another class to keep in mind is COM 10, which is interpersonal communication. It's taught by many teachers here and also gives you a real chance to express yourself and communicate with others. Another class would be COM 12. It's a new class we're starting. It's called interactional communication. And remember, instead of doing like tests and essays and all this tough stuff, you guys can take these classes and it's a lot easier and more fun, I think, personally. So keep that in mind. And you only have to take one COM class to think about it. Another class, COM 15, is interpretation of literature. Did you guys like that boxing piece tonight? The duels? That's all an example of interpretation of literature. So if you guys think you can do that, get an A and grab a book. It's a lot easier than other classes, so think about it. Another class too is COM 75. All you sports fans out there, we actually have our own sports broadcasting program right now. You guys want to get on TV, get behind doing different volleyball, basketball, sports events? Go sign up for COM 75. We'll get you guys set up and broadcasting all Solano games. It's real fun. And last but not least, if you think you want to join the team, we have Speech 50. Think about joining. Come to our room. It's in 1635. We're always willing to sign more people up, so that's one thing to keep in mind. One last final pause, and hey, thank you guys for participating. I really appreciate it. Good night. Have a good night.
So when I ask people to give me like one word that would best describe the person who's going to get this following award, they give me responses like passionate, amazing, and thin. Which is a reference I will never hear for myself. At the risk of admitting that I've watched every episode of Project Runway, I would have to say that the word that best describes this individual is fierce. I'm not going to do it like that guy. A fierce advocate of this activity, a fierce educator, and a fierce protector of the students and colleagues she loves in this community. I don't think it's an exaggeration when I say she would cut you. But the best description comes from her longtime friend and colleague, Neil Glines, who writes, "For the past 20 years, I have had the distinct honor and privilege to call her my best friend and colleague. And when I was told she was winning this award, I said to myself, it's about goddamn time. No one can run or rock in a 5-inch heel better than she can. And if you ever find yourself in a scrape, she will easily take those heels off and stab someone in the eye." She can string together some of the most creative swear words. And her dedication to her students is truly awe-inspiring. She will come in for individual coaching appointments that will have her on campus from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., including weekends. She spends her own money buying students outfits so they will look as good as they feel when they perform in rounds. She writes an awesome ballot, and the advice she gives is heartfelt as she wants those around her to be better at all they do. And although for the last 6 years since the birth of my second son, I continue not to listen to her and have a third child so I might have a daughter. If I did, I would want her to grow up to be like you, Anna. You know, right? I had to cry in my room before I got here today. You are a great example of a woman who is able to speak her mind and is able to back it up in person, or for those of you who are lucky enough to be her friend on Facebook. I'm looking forward to the next 20 years together to see what you have in store on your quest to make this world and this activity a better place. You are one of my heroes, and I am figuratively and literally one of your biggest fans. And if you know Neil, that's round of applause from Solano Community College, Anna Matera.